If you or someone you love is struggling with high blood sugar, you are not alone. Millions of people deal with elevated glucose levels every single day, and most of them have no idea that the solution could be sitting right in their kitchen. Today, I'm going to walk you through the most powerful foods you can eat to bring your blood sugar down quickly and safely. Before we dive in, I want to be clear about something important. This is not about crash diets, extreme fasting, or eliminating entire food groups. This is about understanding how specific foods affect your blood sugar and making smarter, more informed choices that your body will actually thank you for. These are foods backed by real science, and I have seen them make a dramatic difference in my patients' lives. Let us start with leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and collard greens are some of the most blood sugar-friendly foods on the planet. They are extremely low in digestible carbohydrates, which means they have almost no impact on your glucose levels. But more than that, they are packed with magnesium, a mineral that plays a critical role in how your body processes insulin effectively. Studies have consistently shown that people with higher magnesium intake have a significantly lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. When you eat leafy greens regularly, you are not just avoiding sugar spikes. You are actively supporting the mechanisms your body uses to keep glucose in check. Add them to salads, smoothies, stir-fries, or soups. The more you eat, the better your metabolic outcomes tend to be. Next up is one of my personal favorites, cinnamon. This humble spice has been studied extensively for its ability to lower fasting blood sugar. Research suggests that cinnamon can improve insulin sensitivity by mimicking insulin and increasing glucose uptake by your cells. Just half a teaspoon a day added to oatmeal, coffee, or yogurt can make a measurable and meaningful difference over time. The active compound in cinnamon, called cinnamaldehyde, appears to activate certain enzymes that stimulate insulin receptors. It also slows the breakdown of carbohydrates in your digestive tract, which means glucose enters your bloodstream more slowly and steadily. This helps prevent those sharp spikes that can be so damaging over time. Ceylon cinnamon is the preferred variety if you plan to use it daily. Now let us talk about fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, and herring are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These fats are incredibly powerful anti-inflammatories. Why does that matter for blood sugar? Because chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the key drivers of insulin resistance. When your cells are inflamed, they stop responding properly to insulin and blood sugar rises. Eating fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week can help reduce this inflammation and restore insulin sensitivity over time. Omega-3s also support healthy triglyceride levels and cardiovascular function, which are both closely tied to metabolic health. If you do not enjoy fish, a high-quality fish oil supplement can offer similar benefits, but whole food sources are always my first and strongest recommendation. Eggs are another food that often surprises people. There is still a lot of confusion about eggs and health, but the research is actually quite clear. Eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense foods available, and they have minimal impact on blood sugar due to their very low carbohydrate content. The protein and fat in eggs help slow gastric emptying, meaning your overall meal digests more slowly. This slower digestion leads to a more gradual release of glucose into the bloodstream, which is exactly what you want to achieve. Studies have shown that eating eggs for breakfast is associated with lower blood sugar levels throughout the morning compared to high-carbohydrate breakfasts. They also keep you feeling full longer, which reduces the likelihood of reaching for sugary snacks between meals. Chia seeds are tiny, but incredibly powerful for blood sugar management. Just 2 tablespoons contain about 10 grams of fiber, and most of that is soluble fiber. Soluble fiber forms a thick gel in your digestive tract, which slows the absorption of sugar significantly. This is one of the most effective natural mechanisms for preventing post-meal blood sugar spikes, and chia seeds deliver it effectively. Several well-designed studies have found that chia seeds can significantly reduce the glycemic response to a meal. They also help with satiety, reduce inflammation, and support healthy blood pressure. You can add them to water, smoothies, overnight oats, or yogurt. They absorb liquid and expand, making them very filling. For anyone managing blood sugar, Chia seeds are a true superfood worth using daily. Let us not overlook the power of nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds are all excellent choices for blood sugar control. These foods are high in healthy fats, protein, and fiber, which together create a very low glycemic impact. Eating a small handful of almonds before a carbohydrate-rich meal has been shown to reduce the post-meal blood sugar spike meaningfully. Walnuts in particular are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that supports insulin sensitivity. Flax seeds are an outstanding source of lignans and soluble fiber. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with magnesium and zinc, both of which are important for glucose metabolism. Nuts and seeds are easy to carry as snacks, and they replace processed foods that would otherwise cause blood sugar chaos. Avocados deserve their own spotlight when it comes to blood sugar health. This fruit is rich in monounsaturated fats, particularly oleic acid, which has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity noticeably. Avocados also contain a decent amount of fiber and are very low in sugar. When you eat avocado with a meal, the healthy fats slow down the digestion of carbohydrates, leading to more stable blood sugar. There is also evidence that the unique type of fiber found in avocados has prebiotic properties that support a healthy gut microbiome. An emerging area of research suggests that gut health plays a significant role in blood sugar regulation. People with more diverse and balanced gut bacteria tend to have better glucose metabolism. Avocado helps support that internal environment in a genuinely delicious way. Apple cider vinegar is one of the most talked about remedies for blood sugar, and for good reason. Multiple clinical studies have shown that taking 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar before a high-carb meal can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 20% in some individuals. The acetic acid in vinegar appears to slow the enzyme activity involved in starch digestion significantly. It may also improve insulin sensitivity and increase the uptake of glucose by your muscle cells. I always recommend diluting apple cider vinegar in a large glass of water before drinking it to protect your tooth enamel and esophagus from the acidity. You can also use it as a salad dressing or mix it into sauces. It is not a miracle cure, but it is a simple and well-researched tool for blood sugar. Berries are among the best fruits you can eat when managing blood sugar levels carefully. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are all relatively low in sugar compared to other fruits, and they are absolutely loaded with antioxidants called anthocyanins. These compounds have been shown in research to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce markers of inflammation and oxidative stress. Because berries have a lower glycemic index than most fruits, they cause a much gentler rise in blood sugar after eating. The fiber content also helps slow down glucose absorption into the bloodstream. A cup of fresh or frozen berries makes an excellent breakfast addition or dessert substitute. They satisfy the craving for something sweet without triggering the blood sugar spike from processed sweets. Broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage are exceptional for blood sugar management. They are high in fiber, vitamins, and a compound called sulforaphane, which has shown promising results in research for reducing blood glucose and improving insulin resistance. These vegetables are very filling and remarkably low in digestible carbohydrates overall. One study found that eating broccoli sprouts daily led to a significant reduction in fasting blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes. The sulforaphane in broccoli activates a pathway in the body that reduces glucose production in the liver. That is a meaningful and well-documented mechanism, highlighting just how powerful whole plant foods can be when used consistently as part of a blood sugar-focused diet. Let us also talk about legumes in more detail. Lentils, chickpeas, black beans, and kidney beans are some of the most underrated foods for blood sugar control you can find. They are rich in both protein and fiber, which together create a very slow and steady release of glucose. The glycemic index of most legumes is remarkably low, meaning they have a modest impact on blood sugar, despite being carbohydrates. Research consistently shows that people who eat legumes regularly have better blood sugar control and a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes over time. The resistant starch in beans also feeds beneficial gut bacteria, further supporting metabolic health in meaningful ways. Adding a half cup of legumes to your lunch or dinner several times per week is an easy and affordable way to make a real difference. Greek yogurt, particularly the plain unsweetened full-fat variety, is another fantastic option for blood sugar management. It is high in protein, contains beneficial probiotics for gut health, and has a relatively low carbohydrate content compared to regular flavored yogurt. The protein in Greek yogurt helps slow gastric emptying, which reduces blood sugar spikes after meals and keeps you feeling satisfied. When choosing Greek yogurt at the store, always read the label carefully and avoid varieties with added sugars or fruit syrups mixed in. Plain full-fat Greek yogurt is always the best choice. You can sweeten it naturally with a small amount of fresh berries or a dash of Ceylon cinnamon. It makes a satisfying breakfast, afternoon snack, or a creamy base for savory dips that replace higher glycemic alternatives. Garlic is a food that rarely gets enough credit for its impressive metabolic benefits. Compounds in garlic, including allicin and other sulfur-containing molecules, have been shown in research to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce fasting blood sugar levels measurably. Several well-conducted studies have demonstrated that regular garlic consumption leads to meaningful improvements in blood glucose control. Garlic also supports cardiovascular health by reducing blood pressure and improving cholesterol profiles, both of which are closely connected to blood sugar dysregulation and metabolic syndrome. You do not need to eat large amounts to benefit. 2 to 3 cloves per day, either raw or lightly cooked, is enough to capture these benefits. Adding garlic generously to your everyday cooking is one of the easiest health upgrades. Oats deserve a careful mention here because they are often misunderstood. While they are a carbohydrate-rich food, steel-cut oats and rolled oats contain a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan that is highly effective at slowing glucose absorption after a meal. The key is always to choose minimally processed oats and avoid instant varieties that have had this important fiber structure broken down. Studies have shown that eating oats regularly can reduce HbA1c levels, which is a long-term marker of blood sugar control used by doctors. The beta-glucan in oats also feeds beneficial gut bacteria and promotes a feeling of fullness that helps prevent overeating throughout the day. A small bowl of steel-cut oats with cinnamon, chia seeds, and a handful of berries is one of the best blood sugar-supporting breakfasts. I also want to briefly mention the importance of olive oil in this conversation. Extra virgin olive oil is rich in oleocanthal and other polyphenols that have powerful anti-inflammatory effects. Drizzling olive oil over vegetables, using it for light sautéing, or mixing it into salad dressings can help reduce the overall glycemic impact of your meals. It also supports heart health and lowers harmful LDL cholesterol. Research published in respected journals has shown that a Mediterranean-style diet, which is built heavily around olive oil, is associated with significantly better blood sugar control and a lower risk of type 2 diabetes. The polyphenols in high-quality extra virgin olive oil activate cellular pathways that improve how your body uses insulin. This is one simple swap from processed vegetable oils that can offer real rewards. Finally, I want to talk about the importance of water and hydration in blood sugar regulation because it is completely overlooked by most people. When you are dehydrated, your blood becomes more concentrated, which can raise blood sugar levels. Drinking sufficient water helps your kidneys flush out excess glucose through urine and keeps your blood at the right concentration for proper metabolic function. Research shows that people who drink more water daily have a lower risk of developing hyperglycemia over time. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water per day and more if you are active or live in a hot climate. Green tea is also a wonderful addition, as it contains compounds called catechins that improve insulin sensitivity, reduce post-meal glucose spikes, and provide gentle antioxidant support throughout your day. To bring everything together, leafy greens, cinnamon, fatty fish, eggs, chia seeds, nuts and seeds, avocados, apple cider vinegar, berries, cruciferous vegetables, legumes, Greek yogurt, garlic, oats, olive oil, and proper hydration are your most powerful natural tools for lowering blood sugar. You do not need everyone every day. Start with a few favorites and gradually build them into your regular eating pattern. The most important thing is consistency and patience. No single food will reverse blood sugar problems overnight, but a diet built thoughtfully around these choices will steadily improve your insulin sensitivity, reduce chronic inflammation, and bring your glucose levels into a healthier range. Combine these foods with regular physical activity, quality sleep, and stress management, and your body will have every advantage it needs.